Hello everyone, this is Ibrahim Yunus and today is 31st. We are coming to have a very powerful video, and today's topic is 7 key principles on how to have a happy relationship or happy marriage. 7 key principles to have a happy marriage or to have a happy relationship. A lot of us are from a very bad home. We are from broken homes. So we don't have any blueprint on which to build a happy home. So you find a lot of us repeating what we saw when we were growing up, what we experienced when we were growing up. So you see a woman, because her parents had several divorces, you find herself also having divorces. You see a young guy, because the parents had several divorces, you find that child also repeating that same thing. It's not that they want that. Nobody go into marriage with intention of divorce. But when certain incidents happen, there are ways, there are rules, there are principles to apply. So if you are not aware of these principles, guess what? You repeat what you saw when you were growing up. And if you are acting on the things you saw when you were growing up, guess what? The results will be similar like what you experienced with your parents. So today, I believe that society consists of 2 homes, happy home and a bad home. So when you look at our society, you find some people, they manage to have a happy home, others to have a bad home. So if you are from a bad home, this is my best advice for you. Look for those who have a happy home and learn from them. Unfortunately, this video, I've studied a lot of couples who have a very successful home, and they shared 7 key principles they practice that help them to have a happy home. So today's topic, the subtopic of this main topic is that things that break our marriages and how to fix it. But there are 7 key principles I've learned from my mentors. I believe if you apply it in your relationship or your marriage, it's really going to help you. It's really going to help you. So I learned the principle from Kingsley Okonkwo and Pastor Milfred. What happened is that they have a successful marriage, but there were certain incidents that happened to them that affected them. So they came out with 7 key principles. They practice it, and today, inshallah, things are going well for them. Now, the first principle they said was that do not sulk, talk. Do not be silent, talk. In a marriage or in a relationship, your spouse will hurt you, will get you upset. Now, when you are upset, what a lot of people do is that they keep it within themselves and they will start acting weird. Even from the way you people used to converse, they become reserved. They distance themselves. There's some hatred, resentment. So these things were really affecting their marriage. So they realized that, look, we are matured people. We love each other. We want to spend the rest of our lives together. So why is it that when you get upset, we are not perfect. We surely get upset by our spouse. So why is it that when we get upset, we just decide to be silent? How would the other person knows that I got you upset? So this was a clear example they give. That there was a time the husband got her upset. And she was worried. She tried to be very silent. So the husband realized that, look, his wife is behaving he doesn't understand. So he asked her, Queen, what is the problem? She said, nothing. He said, are you sure? She said, nothing. And you know, women, when a woman said nothing, it doesn't really mean it's nothing. But he felt like maybe she's not willing to communicate. Maybe, so he assumed that maybe there's something. So he also moved on with his life. So she saw that he became very spiritual. He take his spirituality very serious. He was very spiritual. So she felt bad. She said, look, you just hurt me. You just got me upset. And now you are getting very close to God. And even God even said, when you hurt somebody, your prayers might not be answered. Go and settle with that person. Now you have hurt me and you move on as if nothing happened. You take your spiritual. So finally she went to him. After 2 weeks or so, she went to him and said, you are a very, very bad man. You are a very wicked man. He said, what do you mean? He said, you've just upset me. You've hurt me. And now you try to be very spiritual. Not knowing, he thought she wanted a space. She wanted to be close to God. She wanted to be spiritual. So he also decided to give her that opportunity and then went into his own thing. You know, she was fighting somebody who was not fighting her. So they make this rule. in a marriage, if you want to have a happy marriage, don't keep things in your heart. Your spouse is not perfect, you are not perfect. You'll be hurt, but when you are hurt, learn how to speak with your spouse. Speaks with your spouse is very, very important. I understand one of the reasons why you are afraid to speak is that maybe the person might use your vulnerability, use it against you. This is what I mean. A guy told me, the reason why I don't want to talk to my spouse is that there was some things I spoke to her 3 years back. Today, when we had a problem, she recollect those 3 years and used it against me. So now when he's hurt, he will never share it. He kept it. So I always encourage all the spouses, don't use your spouse's vulnerability against them. And if they don't share it, they're going to resent you. It will turn to hatred. Then it will lead to distancing. Then it will lead to cheating. Then it will lead to anger, hatred. It will lead to divorce. So if you observe all the couples that had divorce, it's either the woman was hurt and pretend as if nothing is happening, or the man is hurt and pretend as if nothing is happening. And things are happening. How long can you pretend? So it's like a venom. You put it in you, you've not shared it, you kept it, before you realize it becomes something very, very serious. It's become very... So now, how do you talk to your spouse when you are hurt? Number one, check your tone. When you are hurt, your tone is very, very important, because sometimes you might be right, but if you tone very bad, you end up being wrong. Sometimes not having the right thing is how you say it. Sometimes if your tone is very bad, although you are right, you end up being wrong. So one way to know how to communicate with your spouse is your tone. Okay, for example, you can say, Queen, I loved you so much, and I'm willing to do everything I can for us to have a happy home, especially what I've been through. But if you continue this thing you are doing, honestly, I'm sorry, I just have to move on. I have to quit. Or maybe you, the woman, can say, look, my husband, I love you so much. There's no question about that. I can do everything for you, and I'm willing to work everything for us to have a happy home. But this thing you do, anytime you do, this is how it makes me feel. And if you continue, I have to stop it. I have to quit with you. I have to give up. Now, the problem is that a lot of people are insecure. They are afraid of losing the other partner. That is why I always encourage you must be independent and secured before you go into a relationship, or else you walk on eggshell. And if you see your spouse going wrong, you might not have the courage, the strength to let them know they are going wrong. And unless you let them know they are going wrong, they will continue to repeat what they are doing, because they are not angels and they don't know. So it's very, very convenient. It's very, very important for you to be secured in yourself and to be very independent. Then you can let the person know when they are going wrong. So you must learn how to communicate. If you keep things, it's going to escalate, it's going to be big, and then you are not going to have a happy home. So if you really want to have a happy home, you get upset, expect it, you get upset by your spouse. Once you get upset, the first thing you do is that talk about it. And number one, the tone. The second is the timing. There's a time for you to communicate with your spouse. So that you can get the person's attention. So you look at the convenient time, and the next is your attitude. If you overreact, trust me, it will just enter here and pass here. If you really want to fix your marriage, don't keep things, talk about it. How do you talk about it? The tone. Queen or honey, I loved you. I'm willing to do anything for you. But anytime you do this, this is how it makes me feel. And trust me, if you continue, I have to give up. But how can you say that? It's because you are independent and you are secured in yourself. Let me tell you, true security, true freedom is not in having a person or having someone. It's knowing you can do without that person. So when you know you can live without that person, then you'll be in a better position to let the person know when they are going wrong. But when you totally depend on somebody and the person is doing bad things, you can't say it. You walk on eggshell, you are afraid, because when the person is gone, what happened? You feel like your life is gone. So it's very, very bad to completely depend on another human for your survival. Be independent, be secured, and then depend on God. As for individual, it's love that brought you people together. And when you see them going wrong, don't keep things. Share with them. They love you just as you love them. Trust them. And once you share how you feel to the person, if the person really loves you, they will change. If they don't, they will go away. But that's okay. It's better to be honest with yourself than to be with the wrong person, and then one day you realize it. So if the person really loves you, the person will change so that you guys will have a happy home. It's very, very important. Now, according to my mentor, that the second thing that affected their marriage, really wanted to affect their marriage, was in-law interferences. Maybe your husband parents never likes you, or your wife parents don't like you. A lot of divorces are occurring not because the two people don't love each other. They love each other, but in-laws interference. So, Mr. Innes, how were they able to solve